Welcome, STEAM viewers. I'm Evangelos Reyes and I'm from BSCPE 31. Today we're gonna exploring the Republic Act number 4200, also known as the Anti-War Tapping Law. As we embark on this journey, we delve into the intricate complexity of privacy rights and legal communication in our modern society. Join me as we navigate through the provision and implication of this significant legislation. Let us begin by unraveling the essence of Republic Act 4200. Enacted in 1965, this law served as the pivotal safeguard against the unauthorized interception and recording of private conversation. Its primary objective is to protect the fundamental right to privacy, ensuring that individuals are shielded from intrusive surveillance and unwarranted intrusion into their personal affairs. At the core of Republic Act number 4200 lies the principle of consent. It mandates that all parties involved in a conversation must explicitly agree to its recording or interception. Failure to obtain such consent renders any recording of interceptions unlawful and subject to legal repercussion. Hello, I'm Evangelos Reyes and I'm from BSCPE 31. So let's address the two topics: wiretapping or ambush interview and video and audio recording in mobile phone. And what are their relation in RA 4200, also known as anti-wiretapping law? Topic number 1. Wiretapping or ambush interview. The article is about a dispute between Ombudsman Samuel Martires and the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, PCIJ, Executive Director Malu Manghas. Martires accused Manghas of illegal recording in conversation they had, which was then quoted in a PCIJ report on President Duterte's unreleased statement of asset, liabilities, and net worth. Martires claimed Manghas violated the anti-wiretapping law by recording their conversation without his consent. However, PCIJ stated that Martires and his staff were aware that the conversation done in a public place on a matter of public interest was being recorded on Manghas' mobile phone. This relates to anti-wiretapping law, as the key issue is whether Manghas' recording of conversation was illegal under the law or if it was a legitimate ambush interview, since it was done in a public place on a matter of public interest. Topic number 2. Video and audio recording in mobile phone. The article discussed how advancement in mobile technology have made it easy for everyone to record conversation, interviews, or even conduct documentary-style recording using just a mobile phone. However, it emphasized that one must be careful when recording conversation, as doing so without the consent of all parties involved may constitute a violation of anti-wiretapping law in the Philippines. The article outlines the key provision of anti-wiretapping law, which prohibited the recording of private communications without the authorization of all parties. It also explained that the location of the recording, private or private place, does not matter. The law applies regardless. The article further discussed relevant court cases that have established the legal principle around the anti-wiretapping law, such as the need for a clear showing that all parties consented to the recording, and that even participant in the conversation can be liable if they recorded it without the other party's consent. So, as we reflect upon the complexities of anti-wiretapping law, it becomes apparent that its implication transcend more legalities and essence. This legislation embodies a profound reverence for privacy rights and ethical conduct in communication. Whether in the context of wiretapping or mobile phone recordings, the guiding principle of consent and privacy underscore the legal framework established by the law. In summary, both articles discuss the application of the anti-wiretapping law in the context of recording conversation either through a purported wiretapping or ambush interview using mobile phone technology. The key issue is whether the recording were made by the consent of all parties involved as required by the law.